Hey, Desperate Housewives super fans.
They're not gonna like that.
Okay, let's do it again.
Hey, Desperate Housewives super fans.
Hey, Desperate Housewives super fans. Welcome back.
I'm Christy Gomez.
And I'm Summer Moran.
And you guys, it may be only a week maybe 8 days since we posted, but it's been about 3 since we recorded.
And a lot has happened.
Apologies on the last episode. That was all Summer's fault because it's time to put you on blast because I think the listeners need to know why a lot of the time some things aren't on schedule.
Why?
Because we sign off and I say, hey, Summer, can you edit the podcast? And Summer goes, yeah. And I say, okay, so let's say it's Sunday night. Will you be able to post it for Tuesday? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. And then days go by. There's no pod. A week and a half goes by even. And then it's posted. Can't play it. She didn't render it properly. And then I say, hey, can you fix? Doesn't fix it for 3 more days. So I want you guys to know it's not my fault. And if it was, I would own up to it. So I will be editing the podcasts until further notice because I like to be on time. You now may speak.
So my explanation,
what's your rebuttal?
Summer's rebuttal is that I was having trouble exporting.
Why didn't you edit for 5 days?
No, I edited, but then I couldn't export.
Right. So several times you've had this exporting issue.
Correct.
So we know it's a problem. So until you get that fixed, you are not editing this podcast.
But I like editing the podcast.
But you don't do it for 2 weeks.
In fairness, I don't get it posted for 2 weeks, but technically it's done.
Yeah, we'll get better hardware. And until then, you're not editing the podcast. You're banned, and I hate editing. What?
If anybody listening would like to send me an external drive, I would love that, and you would be doing us a great service for your favorite or semi-favorite podcast.
Okay, so I have one you can use. I just don't have the right cord for it, which is why I haven't used it. But I bought it specifically to put like pod stuff on it.
Oh. Okay.
Because I'm running out of space too. Because I don't want to like delete all the files just to have them.
Yeah.
But.
Well, the thing is, I also have an external drive that, for some reason, like, my computer doesn't recognize anymore, and I have so much stuff on there, like acting stuff, videos, pictures, like, it's really running me nuts, so I got a new cord thinking that was the issue, and it's still not working, so.
Weird. Let's try to plug it into my computer, maybe. When I come down to edit, we can workshop all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can come in the morning. Anyway, what was your moment of desperation? I know you've had some crazy ones since we last recorded.
Yeah, so 2 major things happened to me this weekend. I bought a car and I almost got eaten by a coyote.
You bought a car?
Yeah.
Wait, you got it?
Yeah.
Do you have it, like, in your possession?
I sure do.
Wait, is this the first I've heard of it?
I was saving it for the pod.
Yes! I'm so happy! Was it the last... I'm so happy! Was it the last episode when I said I need you to get a car?
Probably.
I'm dead because I think it was somebody. It must have been, it was like, who was it? Somebody said, how is Summer going to get a car not having any money or to put a deposit down? I said, don't worry. Like, she'll do it. I said, don't worry about it. One thing about Summer is, like, it all works out. I was saying this at work, too, because Nick was, like, perplexed. He goes, I thought you were kidding when she said she had $60 in her bank account, but she told me that, too. And I said, she'll figure it out. Like, like, don't worry about it. Summer, for her whole life, may have $50 in her account, but she's going to have an apartment. She's going to have a car. Like... It's fine. That food on the table.
Hysterical that you say that because that is my moment of desperation.
Wait, oh my God. So happy I could cry.
Guys,
you don't understand. For the the 6 weeks that Summer's lived here, every day it's, can I get a ride? Can I get a ride? And I'm somebody who didn't drive for a lot of my life, but that was different. Because I
Yeah,
had a parent
so
drop me off. Oh my God, this is the best day of my life.
you actually might be more excited than me.
No, like my
Um,
heart's racing.
and I'm thrilled, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to
Yes.
have like something to get me from point A to point B.
Yes.
But now, like, everything kicks into high gear, and I genuinely have no money left. So I went down to Armand's Auto House. Shout out Armand. And I asked them to do the numbers for me, like what would it be like for financing? And this is like a $7,000 and change car, almost 8,000. Fine.
Okay.
So they said, "How much can you put down?" I said, "I'm prepared to put down $1,000 today." I had just gotten paid by a couple
Okay.
verticals and I was finally in the black again, but I still felt like I was poor because I've just been like
Mhm.
the last few weeks like so stressed with that. So I'm like, all right, I'm not really going to touch that money. I'm going to get a car, whatever. So I was ready to put down the 1,000.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Hey, since I know your only hobby's manifesting, you should listen.
It's true.
You should listen to "Money Is Everything" by Addison Rae and just have that on repeat. I
That's
put
a
that on my
really
high
great
vibrational
idea.
playlist.
Okay, I
She's
will
a
do
pop
that.
icon now, by the way. Love her.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, I will definitely put that on the playlist. So then the lady said, "How about 2,500?" And I said, "Hey, so I actually don't have that much to give you. Like I don't have 2,500 in my bank account." And she was like, "Okay," and she's punching in the numbers and then she goes 2,000. And they were clearly not going to take less than 2,000 as a down payment. So I go to Zell it to them, and they were like, "This is easier if you use the card reader. Like, it'll charge you extra, whatever. So just Zell it to us." Great, okay. So I go to Zell it, and it doesn't go through. And that is because Zell has some kind of $500 a day limit. So I Venmoed my mom $500. And I said, "Hey, can you just Zell this plus 1,500 to Armand of Armand's Auto House fame?" And she goes, "Sure, give me 1 second." Then she has the same problem. So Zelle is not allowing her to send more than 500. It wasn't allowing me to do it. So I have to call the bank. So I'm sitting there at Armand's Auto House with friend of the pod Nicolette behind me on her phone just scrolling. I was like, "Nick, you should just like go somewhere, go get a coffee because like I'm going to be a minute here." And I get on the phone with my bank and I said, "Hey, I'm trying to send a down payment for a car via Zelle. Can you help me out?" It like froze my Zelle. It won't let me send the payment. And the girl goes, "Okay, let me connect you to the branch." Okay. And I get on the phone with the branch. Now, the lady who answers, it's sounding on the other line before she even says anything like, "Shh, shh," and then she goes, "Hello?" And I said, "Hi, this is Summer. I've been a customer for years. My Zelle is not working. I'm trying to send a down payment on a car. Can you help me?" She goes, "No, we don't do that. I can't increase a Zelle limit for you." I said, "Oh, okay." And I truly was at a loss. Like I did not know what to do. So I just said, "I'll figure something else out, I guess." And I hung up. Now, Now, I called my mom back and she goes, "I'm getting on the phone with the bank to see if they can increase my Zelle limit." I said, "They're not going to do that for you, babes." So I called back and I'm speaking to like, I guess headquarters, and I was like, "Hey, I just called the bank. You put me in touch with the branch, but they were extremely unhelpful. What do I do?" She goes, "I'm going to put you back in touch with the branch." I was like, "Please don't do that." Because they apparently cannot help me.
Right.
And she was like, "I think they misunderstood your problem. Let me explain to them what you need." So she puts me back in touch with the branch, and they said, "We are going to email support for you. We just got a new app, so it could be a while. I don't know when I'm going to be able to have an answer for you and increase your Zelle limit." So I'm sitting there going, I've now been at Armand's Auto House for 2.5 hours,
Where was Armand? Where in town?
North Hollywood.
Okay.
And all I wanted to do at that point was leave. It's nearing 2 o'clock. Nicolette and I have done nothing this day except drive to Armand's auto house. And I said, "Give me that card reader." Now, I had $2,078 in the bank. Fully. Like, I took everything out of my savings. I transferred it into my checking.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to put my card in on the card reader. It doesn't read. It's my mom's credit card, but like it's in my name. Nothing happening. Okay. So I manually enter my debit card, which again, $2,078. There is a fee for using the credit card reader of $70.
Why? It's kind of insane, but all right.
Yeah. So I have a down payment of $2,000 and an extra credit card charge of $70, rendering my bank account to $8 total.
That's everything you have to your name?
Correct.
Cool.
So, um,
Guys,
I get the car.
buy our merch, please.
Please, please, please buy the merch. So I leave there with the car. And as I'm driving away, I'm getting on the highway, and it occurred to me, I don't know if I was supposed to leave with the car.
No, they would have stopped you.
Right?
They would have stopped. You
But,
bought
like,
you signed, right?
I did. And like there was a
Okay.
little like crustiness on the side of the door that Armand was like, "I'll take care of that. Don't worry. Like I'll fix that for you." And then like the passenger side window doesn't go up if you like do the clicker on the passenger side. He was like, "I'll fix that. Don't worry." So I needed to leave with a car. So I left and I was like, surely if something was
They
wrong,
would have gone,
Armand
hey,
would have
hey,
Yeah.
hey," or they wouldn't have handed you the keys.
Yeah, and
You're
he
okay.
would have like called me or something.
Yeah.
So haven't heard from him, which is good and bad.
So you didn't say goodbye?
I said thank you, and then I got in
Oh.
the car and I started to drive away.
Oh, yeah, no, I think it's fine.
So I got a car, people, but like there's no rear view camera. Like it's not perfect, but it's mine and it will get me from point A to point B safely. Now, cut to a couple days previously? Later? No, this had to be a few days.
Wait, I do have a couple more questions about the car.
Yeah.
What kind of car is it?
It's
And what's the year? Like, how many miles? Like, what are we working with here?
it's a 2016 Hyundai Accent. So it's
Okay.
going to last a while. It's only got like 78,000 miles.
Yeah. That's a good deal. Did you do
Yeah.
any like research on why it's that cheap, or are we just
It's a good car. It is used, and it doesn't have a lot of like the features that people
Yeah.
look for now. So I'm
I guess
okay
that's
going without
true.
certain things.
Why is there
But
no back camera? Because I thought there were back cameras after 2015.
I'm sure, but just not with this model.
No, but like it's like now legally like you have to have a back camera
Oh, I didn't
after
know
like
that.
2015. So maybe that was before it was
Probably.
like legally. But that's good because like I personally I can't drive without a back camera.
Yeah,
Does
it's
it have
not
like
great,
AirPlay
but
or anything?
there's an aux cord.
Okay, cool. Well, again,
So
it's like that's what beggars can't be choosers.
no, and truly at this point, I don't care about the
Yeah.
bells and whistles. I really just
Right.
wanted something to get me around.
Right.
Fine. And I can like dress it up, and I want to do like a little NAMI in the probably didn't tell you what that is, but a cute little like it's like a Labubu except cute
Okay.
and not annoying. But I want to like put one on the
I love how you just assume I don't know what that is because I'm so offline.
correct.
Okay.
But like I know I can get a steering wheel cover and like make it cute, whatever.
Right.
So a few days prior to my getting a car, I was with Nicolette, and I know I told you about this, but we went hiking up to Griffith to see the sunset. Like that was on her bucket list, was just to see a California sunset. And it's really harrowing getting up there. I'm huffing and puffing. And I'm like, this was so stupid. I hate everything about this. It's hot. I'm sweaty. So we get up there. It's very nice. Take pictures. As we're coming down, we have to come down this long and winding road. It's only about a mile, but we were like, okay, great. It'll be so much easier going down. And just as we start to descend, something runs across our path. Listeners, Nicolette didn't know what it was because she's never seen one before. But now that I live in Los Angeles, I know what this thing is. She goes, "What was that?" I said, "Nick, that was a coyote." And we both froze. And she goes, "What are you supposed to do when you come across a coyote?" I said, "I don't know." Christy, would you care to tell the listeners what you're supposed to do when you come across a coyote?
Of course. Go away! Go away, coyote! Go away, coyote! End scene.
Dynamite. So, for some reason, even though Griffith was like really packed up by the observatory, there was no one else on this path. So Nicolette and I are standing frozen in fear, and she goes, "Well, what do you think we should do? Like, should we keep going?" The coyote pops its head back out and makes direct eye contact with us.
That's really scary.
It really was. And I turn to Nick and I go, "Run!" And we sprint back up the hill.
In my head, I just heard da 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 da.
It was basically like that.
Yeah.
So we go around. She's got her little Google Maps up, and she's like, "Okay, we just have to walk back towards the car." We walked back along the side of a dirt road for about an hour and a half, probably 3 to 4 miles, so completely out of the way. And again, dripping sweat. Christy, I could not, I felt like I was in a movie where I was going to die at the end. It was so bad. Finally, we reached the car, and it's like pitch black outside. And then we're starving, so we're driving to West Hollywood to get dinner at a nice little restaurant. Can't find parking. Drive for like 40 minutes trying to find parking. Nothing. And end up just going through the drive-through it in and out. And that night we're laying in bed talking about the coyote, and we're like, we could have died. That's a possibility.
No, that's scary. Well, even I honestly don't think the coyote would have done anything to you because they are more scared of you than you are of them.
Yeah.
But being in Griffith Park when it's pitch black is like actually really unsafe. There's like transients out there. It's not good.
Well, it wasn't pitch black when we were descending because we were like, we want to get back to the car before it gets dark. And then it was still light out when the coyote ran across our path.
But even like the parking area, like it's a spooky, spooky place.
Totally.
I wouldn't have suggested going there at that hour. I did see your location. This was at like 8:30 at night because I saw your location.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna call you about some because this is the night before we went to Disneyland just for logistics, and I saw you at Griffith Park. I was like, that's a choice for
It
sure.
sure was, and I would like to make it clear that I did take some video of this experience of trying to get back to the car and just my total moment of desperation. If you guys want to see any of this footage, it will be on Patreon for you.
And you guys, now that Summer has a car, our Patreon footage will get even better because she can drive up to me to record more cooking videos and things. Because Summer loves to drive.
I love to drive, but I have an oven too if you ever want.
Well, I don't love to drive though. And I'm a girl who drives to the office. Maybe on like a Sunday when we record in person.
Okay.
And also on that note, can we go to Velvet Martini Lounge tomorrow and sing some songs?
All right, Christy, what was your moment of desperation?
I've had a lot lately, just some crazy ones. I first want to tell the listeners about when we were at Disneyland. And you guys, Summer and I historically, like, Splash Mountain doesn't treat us right. Like a few years ago, it was actually, so funny story. This isn't my moment of desperation. I just want to tell them about this.
Yeah.
So almost 4 years ago when I moved to LA, I like low-key didn't tell anybody. And then Summer was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to be in LA like in September." I said, "Oh my God, me too, because I'm actually moving." And so we happened to be here and we went to Disneyland, had a really fun time. And then we went on Splash Mountain. And this was still like COVID times. So there wasn't much going on at the parks. And so we go on Splash Mountain. Because previously to this, I feel like we'd go on it like 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
We'd just get a light spritz. And so we go on. We get drenched. Like, horribly, horribly drenched. Soaked. And we wanted to spend an extra 2 hours there. Because I hadn't worked at Disney yet. I still had like I had just moved. Like, I wanted to be there open to close. I just will never forget us like walking, like hunched over, looking for like sweatpants, sweatshirts. It's September, we're freezing. They don't have anything. And then, and then we're just like hobbling, like looking for my mom. And then some guy walks by with like some candy apple, and we go, let's go, let's go. And we start like heifering over to
Heifering. It was the Winnie the Pooh
candy
yeah.
shop, yes. And then we made it to the car. My mom bought you like a 3XL t-shirt. We just like looked so miserable. So guys, basically the same thing happened earlier in the day when it was like really hot. We went on Grizzly River Run. Grizzly River Run. I don't know why I'm talking like that all of a sudden. I'm like, we went on Grizzly River Run.
We're always out there.
We're always out there somewhere. And it was nice. Like it was just like, you know, we got wet, but it was warm. It wasn't like uncomfortable. So then later in the day, I said, you know what? I got it in my hair. I'm gonna have to wash my hair again. Like I may as well just do it. So they seat me, and sorry, it's no longer Splash Mountain. It's Tiana's River Run. Wait, what is it?
Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure. They seat me right in the front seat. Like I'm in the helm. I'm literally like the mermaid on the Titanic. And I'm like, okay, you know what? This is it for me. So we're on, like, it's fine. I'm getting a light spritz. Then like the one dip that's like, woof,
Yeah.
so much water right in my face, completely drenches me. I'm spitting it out of my mouth. It's in my eyes. I was like, this is disgusting. I wish I still had the childlike wonder to like just be like, oh, water's wet, and not be like, hey, this is vile.
Water's wet.
This is like bacterial. And then thankfully we went home right after. I took a shower like 1:30 in the morning, and then I was like deceased the next day. I'm still like on an all lettuce diet after everything I eat there. But when am I not? So my other moment of desperation is, so guys, just like a peek into my work day that I don't usually talk about because I've signed an NDA in blood. My desk at work, Summer's chugging a vodka right now.
It is vodka.
Sugging a vodka seltzer.
Sugging a vodka seltzer.
She's a drunkie. But just to peek into my work life, my desk has been broken in standing position for a good 6 weeks to 2 months. I got like a whole like chair from like a different part of the office just so I could like be comfortable, like a high chair. And then finally 2 weeks ago, they go, okay, yeah, we're sending somebody over to fix it. They'll be there between 9 and 10 a.m. on June 18th. And I said, cool. I also have a meeting for an upcoming production, or standing meeting for the next like 2 months from 9 to 10 a.m. So I said, great, which I usually take from home and then go into the office. So and also guys, like every Wednesday specifically, because if I have this meeting, like I have to work out before, so I'm like alert. Not that I have to talk or have my camera on, but I like to like be awake. I go to my workout class. So I've been switching to the 7 a.m. class. So I get to class, have a great time as per usual, come home, I'm like quickly getting dressed. I get a call. It's maybe 8:40. I get a call. Hey, I'm here with your desk. I'm in the lobby. And I go, I'm not even clocked in yet.
Yeah.
Why are you calling me now? And I was like, I'm not going to be there for another, like, if I run out the door right now, 25 minutes. So I run. I missed my whole meeting because I was driving, which I guess was a little bit on me because I could have left a little bit earlier, but I really thought I'd have more time in between, like, getting home from my training mate class to the meeting. Because when I have the meeting, it's like I have so much time in between on me, I suppose. So I run. I'm like trying to join on my phone, but I was afraid I'd be able to like be seen and heard. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So I just skipped it completely. I get there, finally, it's like 9:15 at this point. And the guy goes, I was like, thank God you're here. Like, I was just about to leave. And I was like, it's 9:15. You told me you were supposed to be here between 9 and 10. This is Los Angeles, so I'm right on time. Like, there's no reason for you to be here at 8:35 in the morning. And I was like texting my coworker. I was like, oh my God, if you get there before me, like all this stuff. So I get my desk. He goes to my old desk, jiggles it a little bit, immediately puts it down in the upright position. So it wasn't even broken. It was just like a little bit stuck, but easy fix. Like something just had to be jiggled. And I was like, you're kidding me. And he was like, you know what? He goes, I'm still just going to replace it because I was here to replace the desk. So they replaced it anyway. But I was like, this didn't, for after 2 months, like nobody thought to just look at it first. But whatever. Then I got in my little desk. It's like cozy again. I was so happy sitting there doing my little work. I love the office. And now I'm here. And tomorrow I'm so excited to... What? I'm so excited to have a little day off midweek. I think they should give us Friday off too, but what do I know? Oh, and then I saw my direct boss, Bob Iger. I was actually doing my Priyanka Chopra impression, and then he walked by, and I was like, hello. And he goes, oh my God, that's my favorite podcaster. He was like, I know her. He literally said that to me. He walked up and said, I love We're Going to Tell. And I was like,
yeah, of course he did.
Yeah, it's a great pod.
Wow.
I know.
So how are you feeling now?
In what way?
After all of that.
I feel pretty great. You know, other than that, I had a great day. And to top it off, I've decided to quit Celsius. So I forgot that was like a big integral part of my story. I didn't have a Celsius this morning.
Wow.
At my 7 a.m. class, I said, I think I have to quit. It's time. I've been breaking out really bad again. Also probably because of the Splash Mountain water.
Right.
But I said, I think I need to quit. And I really felt it in my class this morning. I was like so out of it. I went to like, I almost fully tripped over the dumbbells in front of our trainer and friend Zach.
Our trainer and friend.
Yes, our trainer and friend. I was like, he was talking to me in the middle of class, and as I'm like a zombie walking to the dumbbells, and I literally, my toes went under one of them, and I lunged forward, and I have really good core strength, so I just stopped myself, and I went,
wow.
Yeah, but all that and no Celsius.
Wow, I'm really impressed.
Thank you. I'm one day sober.
Sobriety is a beautiful thing.
Sobriety is a beautiful thing. Actually, yesterday I didn't have a Celsius. I had a drink called Positive Energy.
Ooh.
So maybe I'll just finish that off, and then after that, no more.
No addiction.
No balls. No addictions. This is my year.
No balls!
No balls. This is my year of getting rid of all my vices.
All of them?
All of them.
Come on, I like some of your vices.
I know, some of my vices are great. I think my vices are good in better moderation.
Okay, I can live with that, but please don't ever give up drinking again.
I won't. Oh, the listeners don't know I did start drinking again, but only because on my last night of not drinking, while I'm still in my position, an opportunity arose to me the second I had a sip. And you will find out about that one day. But today's not that day.
Shall we get into the episode?
I would love to.
Let's get into the episode.
Okay. So this is season 4, episode 3, called The Game. Did you clock what show this was from?
I tried to look it up, and the answer I got is that it's from Roadshow.
Oh, I don't know that show.
So, neither do I. And then it looks like it might be a reference to Sweeney Todd if it's not Roadshow, but it seems like Roadshow was maybe it was a 2008 flop.
Interesting. I didn't know Sondheim was flopping in 2008.
You know what? We've all got even Steven Schwartz had his flops.
That's true. I just didn't know he was still like creating in 2008.
Oh, I think he was creating until like the day he died.
Wow.
It's
You know what
very
like deeply
admirable.
upsets me? Did I say on the pod how we were robbed of a Barbara Streisand Lady Gaga gypsy?
I think you did, but if you didn't, you're right.
Yeah. Because I think it was in Barbara's book, which I still haven't finished. It was going to be Barbara Streisand as Mama Rose, Lady Gaga as Louise, and Barbara, sweet, sweet Barbara, wanted to direct and act. And Stephen Sondheim said, you gotta pick one because this is a really like demanding role. Like you cannot do both. And she said, I'm doing both or I'm not doing it. And it never happened. And I'm really sad about it because that would have been, I think, my favorite movie.
That would have been a film then?
Yes, that was
Okay.
going to be it was going to be Barbara Streisand's last film doing Gypsy with Lady Gaga.
Oh, I have
And I'm like
chills.
sick. I want to go to the reality where that was made.
Well, have I got news for you?
Don't do this. Don't do this. Anyway, so my first note is children love playing games.
That they do. It's all about playing with friends outside and how we sometimes have to convince our friends to play with us.
And Susan is throwing a charades party. I don't know why we don't do. I don't really like charades.
I love charades.
Well, we can play. We should play charades on Sunday.
Okay.
Just kidding. I don't want to do that. I don't know why I'm flip-flopping on charades so much right now. But nobody wants to come. Everybody is making excuses until Bree is calling everybody, telling everybody what she heard about the Mayfairs. And then they all decide to use that to get secrets out of Katherine, which is so manipulative and amazing.
Yeah, their plan is to get her drunk and then find out what the tea is. So Susan goes over to Katherine and says, "Hey, guess what? Everybody wants you at this party."
It's really crazy though, for like, why couldn't they be like, okay, yeah, Bree, why don't you suggest to Susan? Why did they all go, we really want Katherine there, we really want Katherine there so bad, please?
Yeah.
Like, guys, you know how to manipulate. You can coordinate that a little bit better. I don't think it's believable that everybody would be begging for Katherine Mayfair to be there.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
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 Then we go to Stella, Lynette's mom, and she hates cooking. That's one of the things that we learn about her in this episode. She hates cooking, but she's doing it anyway. She's trying to get Lynette to eat because Lynette keeps getting nauseous and she can't really keep anything down.
Yeah, I noted she's making her mac and cheese. I was like, oh, call back. Wait, can we make mac and cheese for the Patreon this episode?
Yeah.
We need to make Susan's mac and cheese.
Yeah.
So then Mike is building Susan a crib. I was like, that's a little bit premature.
Yeah, he's building a crib for their baby. He's not building it for Susan, but, like, I knew what you meant. I just want to go back for 1 second and... Mike is building Susan a crib. All right, Susan, this is where you sleep now. I just want to go back and mention that since Lynette is having such trouble with eating, her mother suggests pot.
Right. Yes, that's important.
Because that's the whole thing.
And then Susan asks Bree, she was like, hey, who is your obstetrician? I'm really uncomfortable with Castle. Like, it's weird he's my neighbor. And Bree's like, oh, I forgot. Sorry. I just think maybe have a story.
Yeah, have, like, something.
Like, you mean to tell me Bree Vandekamp doesn't have... Rex was a doctor. You can't tell me that she doesn't have, like, an obstetrician friend who she can be like, hey, I'm not actually pregnant. Like, can you just, like, go to Susan? Like, just pretend.
But she can't tell anyone that she's not pregnant, which I get, but it's too risky.
Then she goes to the yellow pages and just goes, flip, 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 that one. And she goes, oh, here you go, Susan. Prepare to die.
Then my note says, Dr. Adam Castle puts a hose in a blonde woman's mouth.
Yeah, that was kind of insane.
Yeah.
And Catherine's watching, and he's like, "Oh, what did I do? What did I do?" And it's like, not to sound like Mike Pence, you can't talk to other women, but if you're like, this woman is very clearly maybe doesn't know you're married,
Right.
even though you're on this crazy block of all married people, but like she's clearly flirting with you, and you're doing that right in front of Catherine.
Right. No,
So
it's
maybe
dicey.
don't do that. It's dicey, and once again, why does he have a job looking up a woman's vagine every day? He's clearly a little bit of predatorial.
Vagine.
Just saying.
No, and when you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
So then we go over to Carlos and Gabby. Carlos is getting ready to leave. They've just hooked up and they're making a plan to see each other again. He says he needs 2 weeks. Gabby is so tired of waiting for this man.
And yeah, like they're just trying to schedule their affair, and he's like, I need to tie up my loose ends. Like, I don't love Edie.
Oh, brother.
Then Stella goes to Andrew to buy weed.
That's exactly what my note says. Danielle took a spill roller skating. So she has fallen. We've seen what happens when a woman falls whilst pregnant.
Oh my God. She also is 8 months pregnant and has chosen to go rollerblading.
Right.
And it's like, how did you get rollerblades at the convent? Did they address that?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, that's crazy. Also, it's like was this like her trying to force abort?
You know
Like,
what?
babe, why were you rollerblading 8 months pregnant?
Yeah, maybe.
This is what the Republicans are afraid of.
They don't want us rollerblading.
Yeah.
This is why they're tearing down our parks. I don't know if that's a thing. I made that up. So then let's cut to Tom and Lynette. So Tom is trying to get Lynette to eat. Again, she's too nauseous. It's not happening. But then Andrew comes by saying he has a package specifically for Stella. And we know it's the weed.
And Tom is also like really distressed and
Shocking.
like as per usual. And he's like, Lynette, let's go to charades. And she's like, I don't want to go because I'm really good at it and I don't want to lose. And that's so real. She's like, I'm not in a position to be good at this, so I'm not going.
Ugh, poor Linny.
I know.
Love her.
And then I said Susan goes to the OBGYN, and it looks, I don't know if this was intentional, but it looks like the waiting room in Beetlejuice. Have you ever seen that movie? Please look it up, because like everything down to like the characters around look so much like the people in like the afterlife in Beetlejuice.
That's hilarious.
And like the glass at the reception and it just being like a little bit seedy. I was like, Beetlejuice!
Beetlejuice! Yes, I was cackling. I was laughing out loud at this scene. It's just so funny. And I remembered, but I didn't. It's like, I remembered what Brie does, but I forgot that it was like this bad.
Me too. Like, it was like, come on. You could have seen, you know your town. You know the neighborhoods.
Yeah, but what if Susan had brought up Brie's name? Like, at a doctor like this, if she said, oh, Brie Vandekamp recommended me, the doctor would probably be like,
Oh, it was really funny.
It wasn't a joke. It was just a statement.
Sure. I mean, sure. That's why it's like, how do people get, like, how do you go through med school and then this is where you end up?
These people didn't go through med school.
No, you know what? These are the types of people who went through Zoom med school.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like,
Is
no
that a
doctor. Well, yeah. Remember the pandemic?
Vaguely.
I remember it well. It was the best time of my life. And then Stella bakes Lynette weed brownies.
Yes.
And sends Parker to deliver them. She's like, she'll take them from you. Like, what if You're gonna send an 8-year-old alone with brownies? That was
Right.
crazy.
Right. I will say I loved the rhythm of this episode. It felt like something different was happening like every few seconds,
Yeah.
but there wasn't like it didn't feel like there was a clear separation of the stories. Everything felt
Right.
like it was kind of melding together.
No, for sure.
So then we go to Julie and Dylan, who are doing their homework together, and again, they're talking about Dylan's parents because they don't have anything else to talk about.
Yeah, because they don't have any memories
Yeah.
to discuss. They just need to get to the
Yeah.
bottom of it. They're just Nancy Drew.
Nancy's Drew.
Nancy's Drew. And then Edie wants to. You know what? Okay, you know why I was confused? Because I forgot Dylan's name.
Oh.
And in these notes, I say Julie and Ryan.
Yeah, it's like a unisex name. That's fine.
I just had decided. I was like, what's her name? Oh, I know it's a boy name.
Ryan.
Then Edie wants to announce the engagement at Charades, and which is real. Again, this is so not Edie Britt. She also bought her own ring. I don't believe that that's something Edie Britt would do.
Yeah, I agree. And again, like, this person is unrecognizable from the slam poetry Edie that we saw shortly
Done
ago.
breasts. You know what? None of our listeners have commented on what I think are our two best jokes in the entire podcast or the last episode was done breasts and good girls being forced to take it up the ass. Like, I'm sorry, but I think those are two of the funniest things I've ever said in my life. I was personally laughing over good girls being forced to take it up the ass for 2 straight weeks, and nobody said a word about it. Like, I'm like, guys, it was so funny.
When I was editing that episode, tears were just streaming down my face the whole time.
I went back the next day to watch it on Riverside because I was like, was it as funny as I was thinking of? Yes, it was hilarious. But like, where's the love?
So just before Edie and Carlos are on the verge of this fight, Bree and Orson arrive at Susan's, where Mike is like, hey, have you seen or heard from Susan? She hasn't come home from the shady OBGYN. And then we get Victor and Gabby walking over to Susan's, just seeing them outside, chatting. I don't remember what they were talking about. It couldn't have been that important.
I was shocked Victor even showed up.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he did, because I like seeing him interact with Gabby's friends. It feels a little bit more humanizing.
Yeah.
That he's like at least a little bit trying to involve himself in her life.
Okay, so imagine that.
To some capacity.
Imagine that you're having a charades party and the mayor shows up. That would be like, okay, like I have a party at my pool and Karen Bass shows up with one of my friends.
But that's the kind of people, like nobody's surprised because that's Gabby. Like, of course she's gonna end up with the mayor.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, like that's just the mayor. That's like, I don't think it would ever be shocking if I just like show up to your pool and I got a Jonas Brother with me.
Yeah, I get that.
It's like, okay, yeah, like that makes sense. Like, that was supposed to happen at some point.
Right, for sure. But then so much happens at Susan's party, too.
So much. I watched this like a week ago when we were supposed to record, so it's a little foggy to me.
It's okay. I'll kind of go down my list and we can like cover
Please.
what we remember.
Okay, yeah. Let's hit the beats.
First things first. Katherine does not want to discuss her first marriage. Second, I love seeing Orson and Tom be silly together. Third, Edie is really trying to show off this ring and make it known that she's got one. Fourth, Susan eventually makes it home. There's more, but let's go over those 4.
Okay, the big thing, for some reason, I don't remember Susan being there late at all. I don't know why I didn't put that in my notes. That's so out of my mind.
Yeah, no, she was like not there for the first part of the party.
Don't recall that at all. I think there was just like too many other things going on. Maybe somebody was trying to talk to me while I was taking notes. I don't know. But I'm dead at Edie being like, okay, yeah, I won't say anything. Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, good to see you. Oh my God, that would piss me off.
Yeah.
in so many ways. And then, so boom, that was annoying. What was the other thing?
Just that I liked seeing Tom and Orson kind of play around and be silly together.
See, what's really hitting me with this season is I think they finally figured out the formula
Yeah.
of how to have the characters interact a little bit more and like have these gatherings where it's not just like, have you seen that trope or like that it'll be like a joke on Twitter, like Materialists just came out, they're like, yes, another movie about white people talking to each other in different rooms. Like they figured out how to not do that. Like they really like putting action and like intermingling.
Then, next on my list. Okay, so Edie's showing off this ring. Gabby pulls Carlos aside and starts yelling at him, and then Carlos gets mad at Edie. Then Susan starts having a Zack attack on Bree about this shady obstetrician. And
Oh, I said she was having a full moment of desperation.
yeah,
Like if
yeah.
she was on the pod, this would be her moment of
Absolutely,
desperation.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Then we get Carlos calling and trying to expedite the hit on Edie. Gabby pulls over to Dr. Adam Castle and starts trying to make Carlos jealous, and she's getting all touchy with him. And then Edie tells Katherine that Gabby is the one she should be annoyed at, not her own husband.
Okay, we're missing some things too because I think that Gabby flirting with Castle to make Carlos jealous was such an insane choice.
Yeah.
Victor left at some point. Victor like had to go. That's why she was doing all this. But like I think there are other ways. Like why don't you talk about how happy you are, but being particularly flirty with another woman's husband who you don't know very well.
Yeah.
Like if she had done that with like Orson, I don't think Brie would have batted an eye. Or well maybe Carlos wouldn't have either. But it was just like I didn't like it. It was a very pick-me choice. It's like, okay, fine, do it to make Carlos mad, but in the meantime, you're definitely going to upset Katherine.
Yeah.
Or at least like fill her in or something because it was just bizarre. And clearly, Katherine has some trauma because it seems that like Castle has done something bad, Adam Castle, in the past.
Right.
But then yeah, Edie tells Katherine that Gabby has like a little bit of a reputation about it gets taken back to John Rowland.
As it always does.
As it does. So then there is tension as the charades begin.
Then we cut to Lynette, high out of her mind.
Watching SpongeBob. Yeah, because Tom's like, oh my God, Lynette's sick. And then she's high out of her mind. And you know what? I'm glad I'm watching this after now that I have indeed done a gummy. Because now I'm like, okay.
Done a
her
gummy.
acting is superb in this. Like, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then Julie's breaking into the scary attic.
Actually, sorry, can I take us back a second?
For sure.
Then we go right back to the party where they are picking the charades teams. And I think somebody says to, who is it? Gabby. Whoever's picking the team, somebody's like, oh, don't pick Edie last. She tried to kill herself. And it's completely disregarded.
Yeah. I know, I love that. That's what makes the show great. Oh, until we get to, I just can't wait till we get to Lynette's charade.
No, I know.
And then, so they're deep into the charades game. Julie and Dylan are in the attic. And Lynette is like fully taking her time. Like she bursts in. She goes, time for charades. She brings the brownies. And you can see like she's just not processing what she's reading. Everything is being so slow. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. There was a stoner on the writing team, I see. And then Lynette does something really crazy where she just starts pointing to Edie and pretends to hang herself, like she's hanging herself, and the charade was hang 'em high, which was in very poor taste, but
Yeah.
I thought it was a little funny.
It's hysterical. It's also really bad because Lynette is like known to be the best one at charades. She's so good. She's so competitive. And then there's just nothing going on in her head to make this work.
No, because weed just makes you dumb. I'm so anti-drugs, guys. Do not do weed. If you like being a smart person, don't do weed.
Dare.
Dare. Dare to try. Do it if you dare.
So don't do it.
Don't do it if you dare.
Then Andrew shows up to the party and he goes, Orson, there's a phone call at home for you.
They just were putting Andrew wherever.
Yeah.
And then he kind of sees Lynette. He's like, she's enjoying it. He's like kind of giving a like hetero in this episode.
How?
Okay, I can't really imagine a gay teenager being a drug dealer.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Kind of.
And I say that as a super ally. I just can't imagine like the town gay being the one to go to. When I think about my gays, I'm not like, oh, my stoners. Like, stoners are here, the drug dealers are over here, my gays are over here. And maybe they like cross-pollinate a little bit.
Right.
But it's just like, that's such hetero behavior being a drug dealer.
Then Stella comes by looking for the brownies. She's freaking out because now everybody has taken a brownie. Nobody's taken a bite. But she's like, oh, give me those.
I think there would have been a much better payoff if Lynette got everybody high.
I agree. That's what I wanted to see.
Like, what do you mean there's this whole, like, thing with, oh my God, those brownies have weed in it? She distributes them,
Yeah.
and not one person takes a bite.
Yeah.
It would've been
Anybody could have taken a
so
bite.
funny. And, like, it takes a minute for it to, like, all of these next events could have happened, and then as it's happening, they could have been like, wait, why do I feel high? Like,
Yes.
it could have been so good, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Maybe we can do a fanfic on that.
I'm not gonna do that, but, like, feel free. You have free will.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Katherine confronts Gabby about flirting with Dr. Adam Castle. I wrote that a fight is about to break out.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, Gabby outs Bree.
Yeah, Gabby's like, I'm not. Oh, I watched this a week ago, so I don't really know. I'm not. You know what? What does she do? I don't know.
I wrote that she outs Bree, but now I don't know what that means.
Okay, so Katherine. Let me see if I can remember. Katherine.
Oh, yes. She goes, Bree saw you hit your daughter.
Yes, she was like, "Hey, I'm not the one with secrets. That's old news. Bree saw you hit Dylan." So it's all out there. And then, like, Katherine starts crying. And she was like, I know you slapped her, whatever. Katherine starts crying. This is right when, and she also is talking about John Rowland right as Victor walks back in.
Of course.
That's important. So then Katherine, like, starts welling up crying, and she goes, I couldn't tell her about her father. Imagine the worst thing a father could do to his daughter, which of course is going to shut everybody up.
Yeah.
But, like, Katherine, if your daughter is a victim of sexual assault, which is what I'm assuming they're implying here.
Right.
So why are you going to slap her in the face and be violent towards her?
Right.
When asking about it? Like, if I was in that room and I'm like, your daughter was assaulted as a child and now you're gonna slap her in the face while she's still a kid, like, that's just gonna make it worse. Like,
Yeah.
that's not helping your case at all. Sure, it's gonna make people uncomfortable and not ask any more questions, but that's simply just not gonna help your case.
No, you're
Like,
right.
That's a crazy thing to do.
Okay.
I rest my case. Bing, bang, boom. Judge Judy.
So Victor brings Gabby not brings her. Victor and Gabby go sit in, like, one of the bedrooms, which I think is a weird thing to do when it's not your own home. But he's asking about John Rowland. He's really upset about it. And he's like, I just have to see how we're going to spin this. What?
Yeah, he doesn't care that she did it. He's like, okay, well, if people find out, like, we have to spin the story. And that's when she just kind of gets the ick from him.
Yeah, I don't blame her at all.
Yeah. Then, yeah, so Victor's trying to do damage control. Then Dylan and Julie are in the attic. She doesn't remember anything about the room. And then Katherine walks in. She goes, what are you doing here? Then, as it so has turned out, Danielle's uterus has ruptured. So Bree's leaving. She's running out the door. And Susan's like, I'm not done with you. I'm not done with you. And Bree's like, cut it. Like, more important things are happening. But Susan doesn't know what's going on. Like, that's kind of unfair to be upset with her when you're going to be super vague and act weird.
Yeah, I
After
know.
almost sending her to her death next to a transvestite bookstore and getting her tire slashed.
I guess.
I guess.
I just feel bad for Bree, as I always do.
I don't really, because she's creating her own problems. Like, I think you can tell your close friends, hey, I'm not actually pregnant. Danielle is, but she can't, like, open up to them for some reason, even though, like, I don't think any of them would judge.
Yeah.
Like, just let the outside world know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Gabby, who now has the ick from Victor, goes and makes out with Carlos.
And she says, you know what? When you found out about John Rowland, you went on a rampage, hate crimed a gay man, and ended up on trial. Like, that's what I want. She wants somebody so toxic and so volatile who could explode at any moment. Sure.
I kind of get it.
I get it, but also it's like he did switch your birth control and grab your arm and bruise you. So that rage isn't great.
It's not ideal.
But I understand she wants the passion, but she's like, you exploded and like hate crimed, and I like love that about you. And all Victor did was be like, hey, like, it's okay that you did that. Let's just make sure this doesn't get out. And like, that's what I want. I want somebody who's gonna like get a gun. She wants a school shooter.
Then I got really confused because it was implied that Carlos was on the phone with a CPA. Can you explain that to me? I did not get that at all.
Yeah, they just want they wanted it to look like he was hiring a hitman to kill Edie, but as it so turns out, Kaminsky, the guy he's been talking to, was a CPA, and he's just trying to move his money. So
Okay.
yeah, so he wants the money that is like now secret and laundered to be unlaundered and to be like legal and on the books, so Edie will have nothing on him, so he can like walk free. Because right now that money is like tax free and like in a secret account.
Okay, so I guess just because he was still talking about Edie with the CPA, I was confused.
Yeah, like I think he was just like, okay, like I don't want her to have anything on me.
Yes, and then we get Carlos and Victor talking, and it's just like, kind of gave me a chill a little bit, actually.
Yeah, because Victor was like, can you believe that humiliation? If that ever happened to me, I have so much money and so much power, I can make anybody disappear. And Carlos is over there like, I got the money, but I got no power.
Right.
So his blood goes cold a little bit.
And then we go to Bree, who is... Oh my god, it was giving me such a major flashback to her making the bed during Rex's heart attack. She's like looking for the DVD player for Danielle, and Orson is like, Bree, we have to go. And Bree is like, the only thing she wanted was a DVD player. I have to get it. And I was like I have chills right now talking about it.
But at least for this, like, it was more frantic. Like, she was so guilty that all her daughter wanted was just to watch some DVDs.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, you got yourself into this. It's like, you are making her go through this pregnancy. Just get her a DVD player.
I know. Just let her get
harm.
an abortion. Then Lynette comes home from the party, and she just rips Stella a new one.
Yeah, she was like, hey, you can't just drug me. And then Stella's like, it just really sucks to see your kid suffer, and I wanted you to feel better. Which, you know, I think Stella has really crazy ways of doing things, but I think it all comes from a good place.
Definitely, and like, she isn't sorry for doing it, and I was like, okay, Team Stella.
Agreed. And then, yeah, and Lynette is also like, hey, you were drugged my whole childhood. Like, I don't want to miss my kids, anything. And she was like, well, I didn't feel good. I was suffering.
Yeah, and then Stella also says, like, I didn't miss it. I remember you played Yenta and Fiddler on the Roof. It was a terrible performance.
Yeah, that was sweet. And then Susan goes to Bree. So I guess they're not going to see Danielle because now Danielle's fine, is all I kind of said.
Yeah.
And Bree's just like, there were complications about the baby, sorry.
Then we see Katherine packing up the attic. She says her aunt is coming home from the hospital, and now she's kind of taking a different approach, and she's like, I gotta make this room less interesting, so I'm not gonna make it off limits, I'm just gonna make it, like, nothing interesting.
No shit, Sherlock. Like, oh, let me make this room that I don't want people in. Let me make it super mysterious and lock it up. Like, no, but it hide in plain sight. Stupid. She's the dumbest on the lane.
They're kind of, yeah. She's the self-proclaimed dumb queen of Mysteria Lane.
And then